Hey, what's going on, guys? This is KNasty390 here. Welcome back to another MLB 18 The Show video. Today, we are starting our franchise. We had the poll on Twitter. We had over 250 replies to the poll, or votes, and it was actually pretty close. All three teams each got over 30%. However, Tampa Bay, with 39%, got the vote. So we are rebuilding the Tampa Bay Rays, the 24th ranked team. The budget's small, not a great team. They do have some good young players. Not a ton, not a huge farm system. Now, Operation Sports full rosters are in, so we have that. Now, we want to make sure all this is up, computer turning on, ignore budgets off. We want the budgets on. Makes it more difficult for us. We're turning GM contracts off, mostly for the fact that they say in 3 years that they're going to fire you if you're not performing to their wants or needs, and like they will want me to make the playoffs in like a year or two. And to be perfectly honest, we're in a rebuild. It is more important for us to build a farm system than make the playoffs in year 1 or year 2. Maybe year 3 make the playoffs. We'll try to do that now. We do simulate these games, guys, if you are new. So let's get right into it. Let's take a look. We will start in the regular season. We don't need spring training. Let's take a look and see the team that we got. All right, so here's the team. Now, also another thing that we do is we do turn off injuries. Injuries is something I like to turn off. I know it. You might say it's like it's unrealistic that injuries wouldn't happen. I understand that. There's a couple reasons why I turn it off. One, because sometimes it can just get really frustrating. And second, it likes to we can kind of see how players would do in the theory that they would not get injured. Like how great of a career would Mike Trout have? We'll see that at the end of this franchise. This franchise will go on for a long time. This is usually like we do like 15, 20 years on this, guys. So if you are interested in that, drop a like on the video. And you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. But let's take a look. Now, players like Chris Archer, who have 2 years left before they were a free agent, he's someone that we don't need to move this year, but I'll probably put him on the trading block. Faria is a young, promising RP potential. That's not bad. He doesn't have any service time yet, so he has 6 years till he's a free agent. That's nice. And Drees, he's kind of just like a journeyman type of guy. I mean, he's 28, already has 2 years in, but we'll see how he pitches. Blake Snell has a year of service time. Got those gas. Potential. He's a building block. Evaldi, Yarbrough, Chirinos. Now here this is where they got some good young pitchers. They got Jose De Leon, they got from the Dodgers. They got Brent Honeywell, Anthony Banda, Austin Franklin. So this is actually not a bad farm system. A couple A's, a couple B's for starters. Ryan Stanek, Chinwei Yu, but he's already 24, B potential. Hunter Wood. So if we're gonna make a trade for position, we probably don't need starters. I know De Leon's already 25 and he's only a 67, so I'm not sure how high I am on De Leon. However, Honeywell is only 22. I believe in real life he actually got injured, but that doesn't matter for this. And let's take a look at relievers. They got Romo, they got Johnny Venners, Alvarado. Let's see. I mean, unlikely going to have any like high potential relievers. Yeah, nothing really there. Closers, Colome. He's definitely someone we may look to move. I mean, he only has 3 years of service time, so he has 3 years till he's a free agent. However, I mean, if we can get something for him, I'm going to trade him. Catchers, we got Wilson Ramos, not a bad catcher. Again, maybe a future trading block. We don't have any prospects as a catcher, so that's something we might want to build our future towards. First base, this is a big prospect we got, guys. Brandon McKay, their first-round pick last year. I think like the 14th pick in the draft last year. He's like a pitcher/hitter. Like he pitched and hit. I don't think we can't see his pitching like stats, but he's like, I mean, he's trying both, but he's going to be a hitter. Could have some power at first base. He's already 22, but he's a good, promising prospect. Second base, nothing really here. Some major league players, they like Rob Refsnyder, former Yankee, Brad Miller. Third base, we got Matt Duffy. Christian Arroyo, he was the centerpiece of the Evan Longoria trade. That's how they got him. Shortstop, they got Willie Adames. I think that's how you say his name. I might have got it wrong. Good fielder right there. 22 years old. Hechadoria, I always get his name wrong. He's someone we do have as well. And we got Franco. What is it? Wander Samuel Franco. I actually have not heard of him. I probably should. 18, 8 potential. That's not too bad. Left field, Malik Smith. He's only 24, great speed. So hopefully that fielding was a little higher. I wish it was, because he has good reaction. But we'll put him in left. Center, we got Kiermaier, who only has 3 years, of service time. Amazing defender, obviously, you know that. And in right, Carlos Gomez. And Justin Williams is a promising prospect, potentially. So that's what we got for our roster. Now, what we need to do, before we forget, I recommend you guys do this as well whenever you do your franchise sponsorship. Now, we have a couple gold ones, so let's put those in. And let's put that in there. All right, great. Sponsorship's done. Now, I also want to invest in scouting. How do we... Okay, here we go. Scout, coach, we want scout contracts. This is actually important for us. We're not gonna be big time spenders in free agency. We're the Rays. We'll get free agents. We're not gonna be getting like this offseason. There's gonna be Machado and Harper. We're not gonna get them. That's just, we can't afford that. So we will invest money in scouts to help us draft and develop those types of players. So we want to make sure we get right now we have for the scouts we have hired, we have a West Scout, an international scout, and a West Scout. That doesn't make any sense. So let's get this scout here. That's a West Scout, but he's the best that's available. Put a central there. We will get a East, and we'll get a new international. There's our scouts. So that is all done. All right. And I'm putting scouting to automatic. I'll let them do it. I'm going to pay them the most and have them take care of it. Now let's take a look real quick at the prospects, the top prospects in baseball, according with Operation Sports Full Minors. Now, if you want to find those, if you guys are wondering where you can find them, go to the roster vault. It's one of the first one there. It's called Operation Sports Full Minors, OSFM. So Ohtani is the number one prospect. J.P. Crawford, surprisingly, is number two. Ronald Acuna, in most baseball terms, is the number one prospect in baseball. He's number three. Brendan Rodgers, Vlad Guerrero Jr., Michael Kopech is 6. Mejia 7. Willie Calhoun, former Dodger, is 8. Gleyber Torres 9. Victor Robles 10. And there's De Leon, so he's 11. Guy who I'm not high on because he's already 25, but he must have a high potential. He is 11. Eloy Jimenez 12. Louis Brinson 13. Let's see. Willie Adames is 16. Let's see. There's a lot of Yankees in here. A lot of Braves as well. What else do we have? Brent Honeywell is 42. And I think that's it. You know what I do not see is me being a Red Sox fan are any Red Sox prospects in the top 50. That's discouraging. All right. So I think what we're going to do now is update our trading block. So let's put Archer on it. Let's put Kiermaier on it. Let's put Colomé, Ramos, Romo, not Faria. We'll put Hechavarria, Carlos Gomez, Denard Span. And we starter, I'll put, because it never can hurt to have them. Catcher, yes. Second. First base, I'm not going to because we have McKay. Third. Shortstop, we do have a young guys there. We'll put one for just like center field. Because if you can play center, you can play left or you can play right. So there's that. So we can now, I think, start on the simulation and see how we do. Now, I want each episode to roughly be between 20 and 30 minutes long. Right now, we're about 8 minutes or so into it. And I don't want them to be... Actually, we forgot to even do like the lineups and all that stuff. Duh. But I don't want them to be too long, but I also want them to be detailed enough. Now, I'm really not too worried about, like I say, how we do during this year because we're not a good team. But that being said, I want Malik Smith to play. And I'd rather have him play over Denard Span because he has a future, excuse me, and Denard Span doesn't with us. So let's make sure Smith is in. Oops. There we go. Perfect there. And pitching rotation, Archer, Farias, Snell, Andres, Yarbrough. That's fine. All right. I don't care about the minor league ones, to be perfectly honest. So let's go a couple months, see how we're doing, and see if we get any trade offers. And, I mean, if we can still make trades. We don't have to take, and we don't have to be like, if a team doesn't offer us a trade, we're not going to trade them. But I'm going to take a look and see what they offer us, and then maybe at the trade deadline, see what we can get. Right now, we're about 7-8 games under 500, but with the AL East being so stacked, odds of us doing anything, right now we're last. Like, I almost want to be terrible this year, get the number one pick in the draft, hit next year's draft pick, and go from there. And I just see that Alex Smith is in 355. 355, 424 on base. He's doing amazing. OPS over 1,000. 7 home runs, too, for the dude with 40 power. That's what's up. How is Archer doing? Archer's pitching great. Faria's struggling. Snell's not pitching great. Andres is pitching all right. I mean, maybe he's like this team's Andrew Triggs, which is a guy we might pick up. Might pick up Andrew Triggs. If you guys aren't aware with him, he was a stud in our Oakland A's franchise. So he just won a bunch of games in a row. All right, we were at the draft. This is where there's two ways we're building this team: draft and trades. We have the 16th pick and the number 1 pick in the competitive balance round. Competitive balance round, excuse me. So 16th. Now, one thing I've done a couple franchises just like fooling around with it on my own. One thing I mentioned last year, which I'm glad they fixed, is the prospect, like the draftees who are like 25 years old. Take a look. The oldest prospects are 22. Thank you, San Diego Studios, for listening. So right here, there's a second baseman, could have 80 fielding. Now, if you guys don't know about how this is weighed, it's a little graph on the middle of the screen. Has 20 is poor, 80 is elite for scouts. It's pretty small, so you may not be able to read it, but basically, everything's weighed on a 20 to 80 scale for scouts. 80 is elite, 20 is poor, 50 is average. So when it says 75 out of 80 fielding, they currently have 75 fielding, could have 80 fielding. It says contact 40 versus right is 45 to 60. It means they currently have 45, could have up to 60. That's how that works. So we got a second baseman here, could be elite defense, solid speed, above average speed, not amazing, above average contact, not much power, average power. That's second base. Here's another second baseman. Now, I like to call these guys projects. When it says MLB ETA of like the whatever year plus, so that's 4+ years out, he's going to be a big leaguer. I have no problem drafting him. I don't like drafting those guys in the first round because, like I said, they're projects. They're going to take 4 or 5 years to get to the bigs. And I'd rather get more of a guy more ready-made in the first round. Like in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round. Yeah, well, this guy, he's fully scouted. Jim Dunn. Oh, I like this guy a lot. So he's from Indiana. He is only 5'10", but he does have 75 and 70 power, 80 speed, could have 60 fielding. So he's not a great fielder. Pretty good arm, pretty good above average contact, pretty good power, amazing speed, like a power speed combo. I'm probably going to take him unless there's someone else here. Another right fielder, but like I get, he's one of those projects. Dunn is like 3 years away, they're saying. But that's fine. Like that's still, 3 years, he's 18. He'll come up at 21. That's fine. Ooh, another right fielder here. Buckner could have 70 and 80 contact, 60 speed, 60 and 65 power. Right now, Dunn's the move. Our scouts did an amazing job. This is one thing I've noticed too. Scouts on their own do a lot better of a job. Like they actually scouted and found good players. So we're taking Jim Dunn here. And hopefully he can be a stud. And I'm hoping that other right fielder is available in this extra pick here. Let's see if he is. That second baseman's available. He'll probably be our pick unless this right fielder is still available. And he's not. So I'm going to take that second baseman. Where was he? I'll just go with the second base. Forrest Miles. So he's going to be an elite defensive second baseman. Above average contact. About average power. But you know what? That's not too bad. MLB ETA is 2020, so that's 2 years away. But if he can play, that's all right. And I would always say this, guys, when you're doing your drafts in this, never draft based off need per se. Because, like I said, they're 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5+ years away. Your needs at that time could be different. Now, that being said, if it's like a complete tie, then I guess like if you're not sure, should you take like a catcher or a starter and you have a ton of starters in your farm system but no catchers, then take the catcher. But for the most part, I would not recommend drafting based off need. There's a starter pitcher right here who's 22, could be ready next year. 4-seam changeup, sinker, 2-seam from Connecticut, could have good stamina, hits per 9, could be good. Now, he's not a big strikeout guy, but a really good control guy. So he's a control guy, which I'll take that. Florival. Porter Florival. I'll get it. I'll get the name. The thing is, you can make up whatever name you want with these guys, which is always nice. All right, moving on. I might take one of these starters. They're more projects. I'm not sure if I want to take a project yet. Jim Small, that's an easier name, from Delaware. And he's 3 years away, but he's only 18. That's an intriguing pick. I might take like maybe if these projects have some I was hoping they have like one amazing attribute, like one's like a great power hitter, a great contact hitter. That's something I can get attached to. Let's see. None of them really do, though. These guys don't have 80 potential. They have 75 potential, which is still really good. Could still be an A, or our scouts could be wrong on the potential, too. But let's take another. I want to take one of... actually, I don't know who to take. Maybe... yeah, I'm going to take Jim Small. That starting pitcher is 18, 3 years away, they said. Now, just because it says they have 80 potential on this, it depends how well they've been scouted. But they could easily have F potential, just as easily. There's this third baseman here who's kind of like a jack of all trades, master of none. Doesn't really have one outstanding skill, so I really don't love that. I like getting people who have at least like one amazing skill, especially this later in the draft. Because like, let's say if you get a guy who has like 80 speed, like worst case scenario, they could just be a bench stolen base threat in like the playoffs. Like those are always big. Oh, I'm taking this guy, Villarreal. That name has helped us out in prior franchises. Great fielding. Good arm, good speed, like a 75 speed, 75 fielding, 80 arm. It's not a great hitter, but there's like value in that. We'll take him. And like I said, like I mean, if he never really pans out as like a hitter, there's defense and speed. There's always value in that. I probably will take this Albert Bush guy. Again, he doesn't really have any attributes that I love, but we're in what the 5th round. If we get a guy who has 8 potential in the 5th round, that's not a bad pick. And I'm not sure what else we would take. This right fielder just has some good actually, I might take this right fielder. He has really good contact. 70 and 75. Lester Marin. We'll take Lester. He has a skill set of being able to put the bat on the ball. I like that. And let's see if Bush is... he's not available this round. I might just take one of these guys, a shot in the dark. This guy could have 80 speed, 80 steal. Neil Masters. We'll take Neil. I think we're going to have one more pick in the 7th round. Nope, that was it. 6th round draft. So let's... we're actually only one game under 500 now. But we are 11.5 out of the division. Like I said, this division's stacked. The wild card, we are 5.5 out. So we're not too far out. Let's see how we did in the draft. Okay. Wow. Holy cow, that's a draft. That's a draft that could build a team. Jim Dunn, first pick, 91 potential. That's an A. And by the way, people's potentials can change over time. Like, they can go up or down depending on how well they play. Like, if he struggles, Jim Dunn struggles in the minors, that could go down to a B. Or if he does really well, it could go up to like a 95 potential. So Jim Dunn, look at that. He has power. Now, his fielding is something to be desired. But he has the arm for right. He has speed, like a speed power combo. Ooh, that is as intriguing. Forrest Miles, the second baseman, 81 fielding, not great durability, but it's not awful at 51. But we'll take him. Florival or Florival, I don't know. You guys might correct me in the comments. 89 potential, high B, 99 velo, which is weird because he has like he throws incredibly hard, but he has 29 K per 9, so he's not a strikeout pitcher. He's a control guy. Jim Small, 8 potential. I want to make sure the potential still doesn't change. You have 8 potential for Jim Small. That's great. And then we got an 86 here with Villarreal. Now, he's a project. He's a 60 overall. You can see he can't hit, but he has 81 speed, 75 fielding, 81 arm strength. Like, if he can ever figure out hitting, the defense is there. And then we also got Lester Marin. Look at, like I said, remember I drafted him, said he can put the bat on the ball. 63 and 72 contact for a 20-year-old. Now, he's not much of a fielder. He'll never be a fielder, but, like, maybe he's a future DH if he can just kind of continue to increase that contact, maybe add a little bit of power. Or he's just a trade chip in the future. And our last pick, Masters, I said he was just there's a shot in the dark. But look at that, 89 speed with 88 steal. That's not bad. Like, I could use him right now. We can't use drafted players this year, but next year, we could definitely have him be on our bench if we needed like a guy to steal a base for us if we were like in the playoffs for whatever reason. I don't think we would be, but like there's value in that. Bring him in to steal a base. So let's get him, and that's a draft. We got 3 A's, 3 B's, and a C. If those are your grades, those are pretty good. Pretty good. We can take a real quick look too. Top prospect to see how. De Leon is now 5th. He's now at 68 overall, so that's nice. Okuna's now number 1. The other guys are. What happens is when people get called up, they lose their prospect eligibility. That can change. Willie is now at 69. Nice overall. He's number 15. Any other ones? Honeywell is at 39. He's gone up 1 overall, it looks like. Brendan McKay, he went down in overall, actually, which is not nice to see. But, oh, hey, there's a Red Sox. I just see the red B and I get a little excited. But I think what we're going to do is stop the video now. But I'd like to hear, guys, even though we're only like 5 games out of the wild card, realistically, I don't see us getting in. Because we got to jump the Orioles, the Blue Jays, and then we have to jump the Astros. We're the 24th ranked team. I think we're just on a little bit of a hot streak. We won 6 in a row. What prospect should we go after when we trade Archer? If we trade Colomé? If we trade Kiermaier? Like what names out there should we look at? If you want to see how our team's doing, Smith has been a stud. Kiermaier's been all right. Gomez has really struggled. Miller's done all right. Duffy's done all right. Ramos has done well. Wendell's struggled. Crone has done okay. And Hechavarria has done not too great. So, but yeah, let me know, guys, what prospects we should go after. And there's McKay really struggling in the minors. In AAA, I might send him down to AA, let him get a little bit more seasoning down there. We'll see. But that's it for the video, guys. Episode 1's in the books. A great draft. That draft has set us up. It really has. But I'll talk to you later, boys. Take it easy. Peace.